sexy swingin' massages, 15 grand to hit the highway, and the ripped-out weave heard round the world. But is it really 90 days of pure hell? These are the fakest stories found on 90 Day Fiancé.
It's only gonna make things a million times worse.
David and Annie landed on season 5. Despite their money problems, the couple tied the knot in 2017 and are still going strong. Throughout the show, David leaned on his friend Chris in a big way. Chris even sponsored Annie's visa and hosted the couple at his home with wife Nicki. But one evening, Chris made an odd request. After telling David and Annie he was happy to support them while they got settled, Chris asked Annie for a massage.
Is that something that you would be cool to, volunteer to give me a massage or something by the pool?
Of course, it immediately got weird. Nicki later took to Facebook to respond to the backlash, claiming it was all orchestrated behind the scenes. She wrote, "The producer asked him to say it, and Chris had to say it more than once because it didn't come off as natural. You'd be a fool to think I just sat there and allowed my husband to disrespect me, Annie, and our marriage." In season 7, Juliana moved to Connecticut for Michael and his kids. But while the age gap didn't seem to be a problem, things got tense when Michael asked for a prenup.
I don't even know what prenup is. Doesn't matter how hard you try to explain. I don't get it.
The couple met with a mediator, where Michael aimed to keep his assets separate from Juliana, which then prompted Juliana to want to be independent from Michael.
He don't want to share? I don't want to share. True.
The pair got hitched in 2019, but it didn't stick. And according to ET, they had split by 2021. Juliana then moved on with her boyfriend Ben, and people reported that they were expecting their first child together in 2022. But as far as that prenup drama, Soap Dirt noted that Michael's ex-wife Sarah claimed TLC producers made her bring the subject up on the show. She recalled, "I was confused about why they were telling me to ask him about the prenup. Michael believes in his love and marriage to Juliana. He wouldn't get into it if he thought he needed a prenuptial agreement."
Marry, have someone I love for the first time.
And I know he loves you.
Annie and Robert's whirlwind romance was featured on season 7. After spending just 8 hours in the Dominican Republic, Robert proposed and Annie accepted. The couple eventually settled in Florida with Robert's son, Bryson, but not everyone was on board with the romance. Bryson's grandma/adult film star Stephanie was one of them. According to In Touch, she thought Annie only wanted to marry Robert for his money and a green card. Things escalated when Stephanie offered Annie $10,000 to hit the road, and then upped it to $15,000.
Why don't I write you a check and buy you a plane ticket back to the Dominican Republic?
But Stephanie insisted on Instagram that reality TV isn't, real. She wrote, "It's f***ing TV, people. TV. It's fake. It's scripted. I had to borrow a checkbook because the producers asked me to do this. I have screenshots to prove this." Annie and Robert went on to get married and welcomed 2 kids. Tragically, as In Touch reported in April 2022, their 7-month-old son Adriel died of an apparent heart condition. Season 6 duo Ashley and Jay were doomed from the start. The pair was hit with trust issues after Jay downloaded a dating app just days after they tied the knot. Things got worse for them on 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After when Ashley busted Jay cheating on her with another woman.
The relationship is over, so my question to you is, do you want your clothes or not?
According to Us Weekly, Ashley filed for divorce twice, in January and then April of 2019, and each time she tried to make it work with Jay. But her third attempt was finalized in March 2021. Jay admitted that the cameras definitely impacted his relationship with Ashley, but he also confessed that the dating app scandal was fake, telling In Touch,
"The Tinder incident that happened, that was staged, because without drama, you don't have a show."
Season 8 featured Stephanie and Ryan, who hoped to tie the knot as Ryan moved to the US. But in a twist, Stephanie oddly broke things off with him and started seeing his cousin Harris. After taking heat from fans, she hopped on Instagram to offer her side of the story. She claimed that while her relationship with Ryan was authentic, they had called it quits while filming. Feeling pressured to stick with the narrative, Stephanie returned to Belize and pretended to still have feelings for Ryan, all to promote her med spa business.
I'm doing this because I knew it would triple my business, which I will admit it has.
The star also revealed that Harris was just a placeholder for footage, adding, "I thought, well, if Harris will fill in, I'll try and stick it out." So as you saw on the show, I did call Harris and Harris came. He stayed with me and they totally turned that around. In Season 4, Chantel married Dominican-born Pedro despite the massive tension between their families. Her family questioned his motives, and his family expected him to send them money back home. And then there was the epic fight during a family dinner where someone yanked Pedro's sister's weave. In 2019, the couple landed their spin-off, The Family Chantel, and a storyline on Season 3 involved Pedro's quest to find his estranged father, leading him to meet his half-brothers for the very first time.
When I was a child, I was like wondering who was my half siblings.
But according to All About the Tea, fans uncovered an Instagram photo showing Pedro and Chantel with his two half-brothers in 2014, long before the season ever filmed. Despite the bamboozled fanbase, TLC dropped Season 4 in June 2022. Cassia and Jason made it to the altar in Season 2, but the relationship came to a full stop when Jason was arrested on battery charges. As Cassia later explained to Starcasm, "I dropped the charges because I felt sorry for him. I didn't want him in jail, but I didn't know that in Florida they need to arrest people committing domestic violence."
I gave up everything to be here. I have no friends here. My family is in Brazil. I feel so alone.
According to Us Weekly, the couple ultimately filed for divorce in October 2018. Tragically, in December of 2021, Jason lost his life to COVID at age 45. Cassia has since opened up about her 90-day fiancé experience, telling Soap Dirt that many scenarios, like the time she took a pregnancy test, were scripted. Even though she didn't think she was expecting, producers thought it would make for a good story. If you or someone you know is dealing with domestic abuse, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. You can also find more information, resources, and support at their website,